I was just sitting here contemplating life in general. And I've come to the conclusion that at this point, pretty much collapse is the best thing we can hope for at this point. Oh, you know what that is? I can't say it on camera because, I might get banned. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by Genesis Gold Group. I know a number of you guys, I've talked to you guys, you've come up to me and you've told me, yeah, Zach, the market is a rigged casino at this point. All the numbers are fake. Nothing is real anymore. I wanted my assets, my hard-earned savings to be into something physically vaulted so that one day when I do retire, I'm not going to get a check written out to me and sent to me in the mail with a bunch of fiat paper. No. You're going to actually get delivered physical gold and silver when it's time for you to retire and you cash out of your 401k or now IRA. Genesis Gold Group can help you get that. If you need that, the information will be at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Or link in the description below. So at this point, yeah, it's basically collapse is really the best thing we can hope for at this point because we have just gone to so much of an absurd world. All right, so we've lost an F35 fighter jet. We don't know where it is. Supposedly, someone forgot to put the tracking device on this 35 or was it $80 million piece of military hardware. The tracking device just didn't get installed somehow. And it's out there, possibly, they're saying, flying around. How much fuel does this thing have? I don't know. We lost an F-35 fighter jet. The pilot ejected, went to the hospital, and it just kept on going. Meanwhile, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Agency is worried about you and me having pistol braces. Meanwhile, there's unmanned $80 million military hardware flying around out there somewhere, and they're looking for the public's help in hopefully locating it. It's time for another drink. I swear there's not vodka in here. There ought to be. I'm trying to think what alcohol would go best with this. If you could put some Kahlua and you could make mudslides out of this. Okay, because that's about where we're at. It's just time. It's 5 o'clock summer. We ought to be drinking the whole time because the ship's just going down. Okay, not only that, but we've got this. I saw this video today. It was this mom, angry mom, inside of this school, and she goes in and rips the flag down. I don't even know if I can say what flag it is because I might get banned for that too. So here's the video.
Hey! Not.
Wait,
what are you doing? Not. Stop that. I am not paying money. How dare you? I am not. We are paying you to teach history, and that's what you need to be teaching.
Excuse me, this is a public school, little lady.
She's right. You're in a public school. What did you expect, Mom? This is where they teach in public. This is why so many of us, over the last year, couple of years, decades even, have pulled their kids out of the public school systems. And I still see people out there trying to rationalize why they have their children still in the public school system. Get them out. At this point, you could take your kid home and not let them just play outside. And they're going to get a better education than sitting in the classroom at a public school facility. That's where we're at today. Don't put your kid, the public schools it's ridiculous. All of it ridiculous. We're going to do some more public school updates. Homeschool updates. We've made some curriculum changes here on the Homestead, so we'll talk you through some of those. I don't know if I can put that on YouTube. I may have to just put that over at the Patreon place. If you haven't joined Patreon yet, go ahead and do that. You can do that for as little as $1 a month. Okay, and it helps me. And then, because listen, here's the deal: you patrons are basically supporting the Homestead now because YouTube doesn't do me anything. I make way more money, basically selling chicken eggs than I get from YouTube. Anyway, Patreon.com/American Homestead. We'll maybe do a video over there about the homeschool updates that we're doing here at the Homestead. Because we did make some major changes this year. But I saw this video is going viral about this mom ripping down the flag, and I have to just ask the question, where have you been lately? This is the public school system today. We're now, speaking of the milk thing, because there's been a number of, well, I shouldn't have said that. I'll have to bleep that out. Speaking of this thing, there's a number of videos that have been taken down recently on this platform because they're talking about some of the, overall advantages of drinking this stuff without the Kahlua. And so someone pointed out the absurdity of YouTube in doing that. And then when you go to Google and you search for babies teething, this is what it says. Are babies in constant pain when teething? Google's answer: most often, teething does not cause any symptoms. If your child is having some discomfort, it should pass in 2 or 3 days. Now, moms, you all know that's not true. Leave a comment below. Let the algorithm know that you disagree with Google's findings on babies and teething. Yet, however, they're going to tell you that any sort of advantage that you might get for drinking this stuff is probably going to make you sick and leave you worse off than if you bought that stuff at the store that they're selling you. That's going up in price every day. It's like a glass of ice cream. I love it. I love it. And we're just about ready to pass, $33 trillion in debt over the last 24 hours. I saw, if it hasn't happened by the time this video gets released, it'll be happening soon. You can go to U.S. Debt Clock and look at the website. We are very close to $33 trillion in debt. Now, the questions everyone is asking, well, if now that we've lost this F35 that's flying around somewhere, is that going to bump us over the $33 trillion mark? We got to replace it somehow. The point of making this video today has been not just to show you this glorious glass of the substance that will not be named, but are we ready? Because at this point, we can't be this dumb. We can't be this incompetent and still think for a minute that this country is going to survive. It can't. It won't. But are you ready? At this point, collapse is the best thing you can hope for. It really is. Because it's the only way we're going to fix this much stupid. We need a complete and total collapse of this country. We need a complete and total collapse of the infrastructure. And that's going to be really, really hard for a lot of people. Most of the people are not ready for this. Most of the people, like the guy the other day who was complaining about, price gouging at Taco Bell because it was costing him over $50 to feed his family of 3 or 4, whatever it was. It's like, you're not ready. You have no idea. You have no concept what's coming. For those of us who I'm not, but if those of us, in my audience who are on medications, who won't be able to get those medications anymore if a complete and total collapse happens, that may be the end of your rope. For those of you who need electricity because there's some sort of life-saving thing that's going to keep you alive, that may be the end of your rope. But at this point, this is the only way this gets fixed. If our future generations have any hope of survival and thriving at all in their life, the only way this gets fixed is if everything collapses and stupid is, some sort of chlorine element is poured into the gene pool. It's a horrible, horrible thing to think about. But in reality, that's the only way this gets fixed. At some point, stupid has to hurt. And until the hurt comes, the stupid won't get fixed. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. I just don't see any other way out of this. And it's sad to say, collapse is really the best thing we can hope for at this point. I'm going to be doing a video coming up probably tomorrow on future prices for food because they're skyrocketing right now. I saw some of the headlines. Probably some of you guys saw it as well. Time to get stocked up is now. Most of us are not ready for what's coming. But at this point, I'm as ready as I can get. I mean, I know I'm not near as ready as I want to be. There's lots of things I want. But for my kids to have any sort of future in this world, for them to have any sort of hope going forward for a normal life, which I don't think is possible, not where we're at. Even if a collapse happens, do you know what it took to get here? the blood and sweat and tears of our ancestors, the hard work that they put in to get here to where we could enjoy this much prosperity. Most of us have probably never lived in a third world country. I have. I've been to third world countries. I've visited third world countries. You have no idea how good you have it. Our children are spoiled rotten today, and that includes my kids too. We're spoiled rotten. We have no idea how the other half of the world lives. But we're going to get a good clue, I think, real quick. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Kahlua. I don't have any Kahlua. It does the body good. Let me know what you think. Stupid Should Hurt, our best-selling shirt of all time. You can find it right there in the description below. If we had more hurt in this world, we'd have an awful, awful lot less stupid. And be sure to check out the ad from Genesis Gold Group. I think your time is limited on the stock market. If you really still have your money, all of your savings, all of your hard work stored up in that rigged casino called the market, I feel bad for you. I really do. Read a history book. All right, guys. See you next time with the Homestead. Bye! Alexander the Great. Did you know when he died, his body was placed in a coffin made of solid gold? Decades later, Ptolemy X and Cleopatra III stole the coffin and gold artifacts just so they could pay their war debts. Germany, at the time of World War II, stole all of the gold they could get their hands on, and much of it still today has not yet been accounted for. You see, all throughout history, when times get tough, people, either good or bad, seek real wealth. They turn to gold and silver. The central banks and Wall Street cheerleaders would have you believe that gold and silver are just shiny rocks with no real value. But did you know that central banks around the world have for the last year been buying record amounts of gold and silver for stockpiling? Stockpiling for what? What do they know that they're not telling us? Genesis Gold Group is a proud supporter of an American homestead. They help people get out of locked-in 401ks and IRAs into something that's real, physical gold and silver. If you're going to be locked into something, it might be a good idea to talk to Genesis Gold Group about being locked into something physically vaulted instead of just a piece of paper that at the end of the day is just that, a piece of paper. It's a clear surety that our economy is headed for turbulent waters. The nation is currently over $31 trillion in debt, and Congress keeps spending money and the Fed keeps printing it. That does not bode well for anyone keeping and saving money in savings accounts or paper-denominated assets. Call Genesis Gold Group today, this instant, or visit them online at genesisgoldgroup.com. They can put together a strategy that's right for you. And be sure to say that you heard about them from an American homestead. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait.